Adam sent you all an email at the beginning of the semester, remember? Remember? And some choices about the name of the center. And you guys chose the name, right? So don't blame us for the name. And that center hosts ECS Career Services, right? The director is Lacey Henderson, you see her here. So you participated in the events she organized, but it also includes graduate student success and graduate student recruitment. So we have another director, Shante, she's not here, and myself as well. We basically try to promote the graduate program within the School of Engineering. And what we try to do is hopefully convince you guys, those undergraduate students, to stay a little longer with us and maybe do a master's, maybe a PhD, become a faculty member, see the good life. Everybody looks really good. Look at the health, our color, right? So please consider this. And we're all sitting together at ECS North and 2.7. So anything related to career services, graduate student, graduate programs, and so on, you're always welcome to come see us. Right, and with this, I pass it on to Lacey, who's our Director of Career Services, and she will take over and introduce the event. So thank you very much for coming, and enjoy the dinner and the event.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to first start off with introducing our guest instructor today, and then afterwards we'll do our award ceremony, and then we'll have some final remarks. So our guest speaker is from the Dallas School of Etiquette, from her own rich background and proficiency to train others in private, business, and group etiquette sessions. Lisa has certifications from the Washington School of Protocol, the British School of Excellence, along with the American School of Protocol. She has studied the art of French dining and has taken courses to enhance her profession by learning about French culture. Her comprehensive etiquette training allows her to cater to a diverse audience, including children, adults, military, academics, and corporate clients. Some of Lisa's clients include Future Ambassador in London, UK, Bank of Texas, Texo, the Construction Association, Private Business Executives, Kansas University School of Business, Girl Scouts of America, and the Dallas Country Club. Please help me welcome Lisa Burnette.
So I just want to open by saying I'm so happy to be here, and my children do not take me seriously. So the photos are so that I can send my son, who was an engineer, he is now a surgeon, photo shoots that I'm speaking to a group of engineers. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so thrilled to come and talk to you as a group about this subject, because it is very important in your future when you step out of the doors of this university. Meeting and greeting. So I want to start with the first thing, and that is I smile hand. I smile hand. When I meet you and I stick out my hand, how are you? You should stand up. Male or female, you should stand up. That is the beginning, ladies and gentlemen, of connection. When we meet others with our eyes, our smile, and our hand, we connect. We forget skin color, we forget socioeconomic levels, and we connect as human beings. And that is something that's been lost in our culture, and that's why I'm here tonight. And my goal as an etiquette consultant was to have camps in a school where I would teach a 6-week course, but it has evolved into I go into corporations and I go in and speak to bankers. Why? Because they're losing deals, losing money, losing jobs, because they don't connect on that 1 second. So when you hear people say, or you look up on the internet and you Google, well, what's the first impression? It's not 7 seconds, it's 1 second. 1 second when you walk in the door. If you came in what if you came in a pair of shorts and you met Dr. Schaefer, it would take 1 second for him to be a little bit irritated that you showed up at an etiquette dinner in a pair of shorts. It wouldn't take 7 seconds. So that's why we have to be mindful of the way we look, the way our grooming, and we need to research where we're going in the audience that we're going to be amongst, so that we will, I don't want to say fit in, so we'll present our best self. So with that, I'm going to start with the mocktail. This was my first mocktail. I have taught in cocktail hour, but I kind of did it in reverse. So not to be critical, but I'm going to talk about things. Welcome. We want to welcome you, gentlemen. Welcome to our etiquette dinner. I'm Lisa Burnette. And you see how I made them feel welcome? I don't want them to sit here feeling bad that they were late. I'm happy that they're here, and I want them to open up to listen to what I have to say. Okay, so let's go to the mocktail. So what I did is I just walked around and I tried to meet and greet everyone. I watched how you were eating, and this is not to be critical, but understand, students, faculty, I am grooming you to walk into corporate America, engineering companies. You're going to be project managers. Most of you are computer science, different fields of engineering, and I want you to walk in the door with a wow effect. If you're clean, you smile, you have a great attitude, and your coat is buttoned, by the way I'm going to say, the first person that comes to my meetings that greets me with a coat button, they get white hankies. We're going to talk about that. And that's you. Would you stand up right here? Yeah. He came over and greeted me, looked me in the eye, gave me a firm handshake with the mocktail. I'll just give you these. I'll show you how to use one. Thank you. He greeted me. His coat was unbuttoned. He buttoned his coat and then said hello. You're doing well. Thank you. So, move my hand. That's one of the things that I was looking for. Someone who had their coat unbuttoned and they walked up to me and they buttoned their coat. How respectful. Across the board, that is just so respectful. Would you want to hire somebody? Would you want to hire him? He made such a good impression, I started looking for whose coat was buttoned. You know, those little things are meaningful. They are very meaningful. Okay, so let's go to the mocktail. First thing I want to say about a mocktail, cocktail, ladies and gentlemen, or students, faculty, this is not the time to have din-din. Now, I've got to tell you, I was starving. I taught all day, and I did have a bite to eat. And this food was absolutely delicious. But I brought it in to demonstrate. If you were at a cocktail party and you were trying to get a job, you don't want to concentrate on this din-din. This is not din-din. You don't chow down. You look for the item that you can eat comfortably. Now, you had nice tables out there, but you know, oftentimes we don't have tables to stand around. You got to walk around with your glass. You got to walk around with the plate. You don't want to do that. You want to get one bite, and the focus is meeting and greeting the people in the room and making contacts. It is not having din-din. Always remember, cocktail hour is not the time to drink or chow down on a meal. It is the time to meet and greet and make connections with those people or organizations that you are in. Same thing with receptions, unless it is a sit-down dinner. Now, I have to tell y'all that I'm the mother of 2 lawyers. I have girls that I moved to Texas, and I'm married a lawyer. And a lot of functions they have, I see my boys go in and they chow down. And both of them gained 15, 20 pounds. I mean, they went to the Naval Academy. What's happened to you guys? We the law firm. And I won't tell you what firms they're with. They're in Dallas, but they're based out of Houston. And they say, well, you know, we just don't have time to eat. And we're meeting new lawyers, and I'm trying to get business from this company, one of this acquisitions, one of the trial attorney, trying to get business. So I just eat, and they had Wagyu beef tips. No, tell me you didn't eat, boys, tell me you didn't eat beef tips at cocktail hour. Oh yeah, we ate that and I didn't want to eat dinner. No. You want to focus on interactions with human beings. So I brought this in. This is delicious food. It's great. I did eat some of it, and I made this plate. The other thing is this little gazpacho. Don't stand and do this and talk to somebody. Now how nice is it? No. If I were trying to get a job and I was trying to get them to hire me, I would have chosen this. And I would take a small bite. Because that's the thing that I can eat and be neat while I'm out at the cocktail. So this really worked out beautifully. I've never done it in reverse like this. And also, I would have a bite and then I would put my plate down because I'm walking around to meet and greet. And I'm going to hold my glass. Now, I saw all kinds of disaster glasses. We do not hold a glass like this. We do not hold a glass like this. We hold a glass like this, and we keep our hand underneath the glass. Same. Maybe you don't get a break. Because you might be hired by a female. She's really going to critique you. Now, what I want you to remember, why? Why do we start out with a cocktail, and why is this so important? It's so important because you represent the University of Texas, Dallas. You represent this school when you go in to have a job interview. How do you want to look? How do you want to be? You want to be sharp. And I'm going to talk a little bit about imaging. All of you look nice. You don't need any wardrobe. Your white shirts, you're dressed very nicely and very neat. You want to make sure that your hair is groomed. Facial hair is fine if it's groomed. And I know the guys right now, my guys included, that's how the dudes, but you want to be groomed and think about how the employer or the company that you're seeing looks at you. The cocktail, mocktail today is the first impression. That's why it is so important. And please, I cannot tell you enough. I personally am a non-drinker, okay? Everybody in my life has a cocktail. Wine. My husband thinks he's a sommelier. I have the opportunity to go to France 2 or 3 times a year, and I've been studying etiquette over there. And it's not I need to hold the glass. I need to hold the glass when I'm out. And I need to partake. Sometimes I need to pretend like I'm drinking the wine for the culture. But it is not the time when you're in cocktail hour in a company to have a couple of drinks. So this summer, when I was in London and I trained with people from all over the world, I said, what do I tell my business people about drinking socially? People are watching you. You're on stage. And subconsciously, that person that has 2 or more drinks, they might be overlooked, or there might be a question in their mind of whether they're going to hire them. And in the UK, ladies, I know you're not going to like this, but ladies are still looked upon if they have that second drink as they might be a problem. Or have, and that's just the way the world perceives it. It's not right, it's not fair, but that's just the time you want to be. Remember, you are on stage. You are on stage. And you may not go into the firm or the company that you're in, but they may have a connection to another company where you may meet one day. Okay, so I'm going to go to my notes, make sure that I didn't miss anything. When you meet, okay, we're going to talk about in the cocktail hour when you meet someone. I talked to someone who had a business card who said, he was talking about students saying, oh, I don't want a business card. I hear that all the time. My stepdaughter's a lawyer. 2 of my sons are lawyers. Well, people don't use business cards anymore. But guess what? In other parts of the world, they use business cards. You can bet they do. And that business card that's found in the pocket after you are the second choice for the job might be pulled out and you're called. It's just another form of connection. After a meet and greet, after all of your internet technology, you've got that paper, you've got that card. So if you meet me tonight, I've just met someone from another department at University of Texas, and I said, oh, your professor, your department probably does not need me. And she goes, oh, yes, we do. I'll present her with the card this evening. I have my cards ready. You need a card. Even if it says student, which guess what? You're going to be interviewing, don't you have to go for job interviews for the summer? Okay, you want to be thinking ahead. Where do you want to work? Call the company. Make an appointment to go see them. Hi, I'm Awesome. You stand up. Stand up. Hey, you stand up, Awesome. And that's the other thing. Stand up. Stand up. I probably revealed myself on my website to make that, which I was really excited. I was nervous like out there. I wasn't nervous anymore. I'm more nervous about you than I was these bank executives. Because guess what? They were leaning on the table. They said, you have to stand up. And I said, absolutely. That's protocol. When the president of the bank walks in, you stand up. When your wife comes in this afternoon, or a significant other, stand up when they enter the room. Happy wife, happy life. It just says respect. Someone comes into your home, comes into your classroom. You want to stand up. Stand up. Okay, let's see. I'm sorry from the back. I should never do that. Right. Okay, so dress for the job. Always. And so y'all kind of follow me with this. Always have the business card with you, and rewire your brain. Rewire your brain for your audience. Think about who you're speaking to. I've been doing business etiquette now for almost 3 years, and I've done probably 8 of those people that you see on the list in the last 3 months. And it's coming from private, it comes from my private students referring me. But my first business etiquette presentation was at a country club here in Dallas, It was Kansas University. And I left there and I thought, I am Emily Post. Then gave me a $250 tip. He loved me and it was great. And I researched every major that my subjects, the fields that they were studying. So I could talk about it and tell them what they had to do in their interviews. My second, and I don't have them listed, was an architect firm. I put them on my resume. Because I went to the organization, I did everything that I did the first time, but guess what I didn't do? I did not study my subject. My boys used to call me the creeper. I don't like to be on Facebook, but I like to go on Facebook and find out what you're doing. So if I go into your pictures and I see what you're doing, I can learn about your life, and I can come in and talk to you. So I was the creeper. But on this situation, I went and studied the company, this architect firm, and I studied from the lady that hired me down. 35 architects were going to be there, and the person that hired me. So this gentleman walks in, was very casually dressed, he was late. And I said, oh, welcome, I've got a notebook for you. I gave him a notebook, he sat down. Throughout the presentation, I said, now, when you go into Carmen's office, the boss, and I kept referring to her the boss, she wasn't the boss, he was the boss. And throughout my presentation, they got a great big hee of how I referred to the wrong person as the boss. Now, that was horrible. In a group like this, I don't think it would matter as much. This was a group of architects who were tired. They insisted on that I come in and do this presentation at 8 o'clock at night. They left their families, they were from Oklahoma. It was probably 70% females, and they really didn't want to learn about the different forks. Their company was making them do that. And they were late, they came in the wrong door, everything was just kind of, and it was not disaster, but I didn't have the same, it was all that one thing. If I could go back and do that over again, I would have the buildings that these ladies had designed, I'd have a little photograph of their buildings. Because that's a huge deal to them. That is a huge deal to them. What am I talking about? I'm talking about what's important to the people that I'm talking to. So let me just say that cocktail is your first, I don't want to say hit, but that's your first thing, and that's, you want to wire your brain to who you're talking to, what they're all about. If it's sports, you better know the history of sports and the scores. If it's engineering, you better know what the University of Texas Dallas just got awards for. You want to know the professors who's been published, what they were published for. I went into my doctor who was having a bone scan, and I just tried to practice what I preach. And I studied about some things, and I thought, oh, he's published. I started talking about him. He was like so nice. Guess what he did? He looked my son up, who was a student at Columbia, and brought him over to the meeting, introduced him to some surgeons. Now, those surgeons invited my son to observe him, who was in dental school. He got into oral surgery program. Now he's in maxillofacial, and now he's a resident in maxillofacial surgery. Now, this person writes and publishes all the time. I took the time to read what he had published, and then I went in and talked about it. He forgot what he was doing. He was so excited. You walk in and talk to people, and you find out what makes them tick. There's something that makes all of us tick. Your professors, when you go into class, you know what I tell my middle schoolers? I have a lot of students from St. Mark's. Go to look at your professor, your faculty member or your teacher, middle school, high school, and find out where they went to school, what they did, and then go in and talk about it. Or find 5 questions about the academic subject that they've spent 10 to 20 years researching. I have a private student right now. She's trying to get a residency in dermatology here in Dallas. And she came to me. She's on her 3rd session. Beautiful. If you gentlemen could see her, she is gorgeous. And she said, I can't connect with the doctors. I can't connect with them. And I said, we went through dining, we've gone through imaging. And I said, can you tell me the name of the doctor you're going to see tomorrow? Let's go to Wikipedia. He went to school at Baylor, went to school at UT. He has a winery. We can't give him gifts. I said, people in Texas, I want to be I said, no, you're not Texas. You're from India. What do you do in your culture? So she made peach chutney, and she took to him. And I said, you walk in and say, how about those longhorns? And present him with your peach chutney. You've got a connection. You have got a connection. Mocktail, cocktail is your first connection. Okay, you always ask open-ended questions. Write a list of questions to ask people who go into your party. Okay, so you want to walk in And I know your majors, and so I ask you, are you students, are you faculty? I wouldn't come in and talk to you gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, about sports. I just wouldn't do that. I have a UT man at home, and I'm from Georgia, and we've got problems coming this weekend, so. But fortunately, I'm an Auburn grad, so it really doesn't matter, and I have to tell you, I want UT to beat Georgia, because I don't like Georgia, I'm an Auburn grad. But I did my homework enough to know that I could connect to you. I don't walk into the room and start talking about something you wouldn't be interested in. I try to address the subject in respect for what you are. So you thought this was etiquette dinner, but it's about connections. And I went in one direction, and I've been pulled in another. And that's what I'm studying now, emotional intelligence. Because our country has become a melting pot of cultures. And then later after the dinner, and I teach you all the things to do, we're going to talk about how to connect, and that big word called respect. Respect comes above another word that our professors say, research. If I care about you, I'm going to find out what you eat. I'm going to find out what your culture does. I'm going to take the time to go beyond just the show up. Okay? On our mocktail, let's move down to, I gave you examples I don't want to go into, like travel, books that you've read, college, sports victories. We went over messy foods. We didn't have sandwiches tonight, but mini sandwiches are a good thing to pick up if you see fruit, raw veggies, cheese, and crackers. This was hot food, and this was good food. And a lot of cocktail hours are serving really good hot food. Now, when you are a department head at University of Texas, you can shout angry. Doesn't matter so much about it. If you're trying to get a job or you want him to write a resume for you, you want to eat white. Okay? The three, went over that. When you speak to people, always try to speak with affirmation. We don't want to talk about a building burning at the University of Texas. When people are eating, we want to speak with affirming words. We want to, as a teacher, I say fill up the bucket, but I tell all of you, you've got a well to fill up. You're starting out. You have got a well to fill up, and you've got to rewire your brain to think, what can I do? How can I be the problem solver? How can I fill up? Okay, now we're going to go into our dining etiquette. So I start all of my meetings from all backgrounds with a time of gratitude. No matter what your faith is, we have a pause for gratitude, and then I want you all to eat, and I'm going to walk around and talk because I want you to be comfortable. I want you to ask me questions, but I'm going to talk about the salad first. So if we could just have a pause and give thanks for our food and what we have, and how we're so blessed in this country for what our faith is. Is that okay, Lisa? We just have like about a 10-second pause, and then I want you to go into your salad. We're going to talk about how to eat salad. Okay, and we'll start with the napkin. We're going to start with the napkin after our pause. Okay, so now we'll have our pause. Okay, now let the fun begin. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our napkins. Now let's talk about it. I want you to take your napkin. After the napkin, you can start eating. But the napkin, gentlemen, if you're served a white napkin, you have on a suit, always say, excuse me, may I have a white napkin? That'll show that you really know your stuff. You've had an etiquette consultant, because a black napkin will not put lint on your suit. So if you're in a nice restaurant, even the steakhouses now, like my grandson will always say, may I have a white napkin? His dad's like, what? I said, Quince knows. Quince is 7. But you place your napkin in your lap. The napkin, this is a cloth napkin. You take the napkin and you fold it, and you bring the fold to your waist.